it just dawned on me this payment processor situation might be Gamergate 3. Like, like that's not hyperbole. Y'all remember months ago when Gamergate was happening? Gamergate was happening, and you had that goofball John Della Backhole trying to claim it as Gamergate 3. And we were all like, yeah, boy, get your dumb ass the hell up out of here. Like, the Gamergate 3. But with this payment processor situation, and as I do more research and I'm seeing the thing play out, oh shit, this is escalated to Gamergate 3. And now we're fighting like the total, almost the total opposite group. And we got to talk about it. This all goes into this itch.io. Why would you call yourself that? Itch.io? Like, nigga, I'm itching just saying that. I don't like itch.io. We ain't even going to go into the begging portion of the video. Let's start with this right here, right? Itch.io is apparently a platform that focuses on indie games. If I could just, a platform that focuses on indie games, okay? And I saw this post right here. This person says, you are cowards, okay? You are cowards, all right? This is what they said. Update, this is July 24th in 2025. Update on not safe for work content. They say we have de-indexed all adult NSFW content from our browse and search pages. We understand this action is sudden and disruptive, and we are truly sorry for the frustration and confusion caused by this change. Recently, we came under scrutiny from our payment processors regarding the nature of some content hosted on itch.io. Due to the game titled No Mercy, which was temporarily available on itch.io before being banned back in April, the organization Collective Shout launched a campaign against Steam and itch.io, directing concerns to our payment processors about the nature of certain content found on both platforms. Wow. And this is a retweet of back in 2022 when itch.io tweeted out, itch.io is not for prudes. If you click our link, please be careful about what you might see. And then it recently got community noted. So it says, while this tweet was accurate at the time, itch.io has now gone back on this, removing all NSFW works because of pressure from payment processors and activist groups such as Collective Shout. Guys, the payment processors has declared war on gamers. Period. Now, a lot of people are going to say, no, they're just declaring war on those Gooner games. But it doesn't matter because gaming is a platform for creators. And if your creativity, right, is sexual, you should be allowed to make it. Now, if it's illegal, that's different. If it's illegal, that's different. But if you have, sex going on in your game for whatever reason, some of that booty bandit material going on in the game, it should be allowed to exist. Why are payment processors deciding on what the hell I can and cannot buy? There's no excuse for that. None. Let's continue. I want to bring you over to this post right here. Right? Let me shrink on y'all. All right. The following is a non-exhaustive list of prohibited themes present in card processing networks. We are unable to support the sale of any works containing these topics: non-consensual content, real or implied, underage or barely legal themes, incest or pseudo-incest content, bestiality or animal related, grape, coercion, or force related. Now hold up. They said bestiality. Can't you dabble in some bear bussy on Baldur's Gate? So now they got to remove Baldur's Gate? Correct me if I'm wrong, but can't you bust down a bear in Baldur's Gate? So do they got to get rid of Baldur's Gate? I don't know. Grape, coercion, or force related, sex trafficking implications, revenge, corn, voyeur, whatever that means, hidden cam, fetish involving bodily waste or extreme harm. I actually support that. Get that out of there. Get that nasty shit out of there. I'm just playing. Obviously, I think most of these are pretty gross. non-consensual. It depends on, are they telling a story about a character who was forced or raped? That should be allowed. Underage, get that out of here. Incest, again, if we talking about a story where there's characters who participate in that, it should be allowed. Bestiality, disgusting, but it should be allowed. Grape, coercion, again, if it's based on the story, if it's a story, if it pushes the story forward, then yes. Sex trafficking implications. If it's part of the story, then yes. Are we talking about making a game where you participate in trafficking women? Well, I don't know. Because Grand Theft Auto have always had pimps. What? Revenge corn, hidden cam. If it's part of the story, then yes. And fetish involving, that's disgusting. That's disgusting. I don't even want to think about that. So, I mean, we're talking about insane stuff here. Insane. Now, itch.io apparently posted this on Reddit. They said, do you want to actually do something about the payment processor attacks on creators? This is a list of steps people can take made to the best of my ability. This isn't comprehensive and I appreciate suggestions. Please share feedback as long as it's constructive. I understand that some are in favor of the censorship. I just ask that you please understand this is not a threat to argue either stance. And shout out to them for trying to let people know. Some consider it a long shot, but I think contacting payment processors is a very worthwhile endeavor if done well. You shouldn't just say you're disappointed and will not use these services anymore. Not that. We should tell them quite bluntly that if they continue the stupidity of infringing on people's law-abiding activities and speech by these thuggish tactics of financially barring platforms, you will make it a permanent part of your political identity to seek to have them broken up as monopolies. Tell them you believe their actions are illegal and that you will actively seek out and press the idea to as many opportunistic law forms as you can and try to kick off a class action lawsuit against them. Tell them you'll forever support any regulations against them. Below, I'll post some. Okay, so basically, there you go. There's that information. So if you want to do that, please do that. Right? Which brings me to this article. But before we get into this article, this article points out why I think we're fighting against the right-wing version of Sweet Baby Inc., Collective Shout, and whatever. But and just to further this, if you go, remember, these are some of the people participating in Gamergate. It was somebody else I couldn't remember. But if you look down somebody like Melody Mack's page, you don't see anything speaking about Collective Shout, any of these things. Like, you don't see her talking about it. She doesn't mention it, doesn't care to talk about it. And maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, somebody in the comments let me know. But you don't see her talking about it. She don't mention it. She don't denounce censorship or none of that stuff. That's because I believe it's because she's actually in favor. All right? She's in favor of this. Look, this is July 9th. She ain't said nothing. Let me go back to the top of her page so y'all don't think I'm trying to hide certain stuff. This is the top of her page. I don't see anything talking about Collective Shout, in favor of gamers, because I believe that she's in favor of this. She's in favor of the censorship of the adult content. And then look at John Della Backhole. Seems reasonable to me. Why is everyone shouting collectively about them? Because they say ban adult content on X. Now, granted, my algorithm, I don't have adult content in my algorithm, but I don't believe in nobody trying to ban. If Elon Musk decides that, yeah, you know what, I don't really like that, let's kick it off the platform, then go, okay, cool. But he's had Twitter for what, 2.5, 3 years now, and he didn't have a problem with it. So don't start doing it now. But let's go to this this article from Polygon. And I actually think this is a good article from Polygon, and we're gonna get into it. So itch.io is the latest storefront to curb the sale of adult content on its platform due to pressure from payment processors like Visa and MasterCard. As of Thursday, the indie-focused platform has de-indexed adult content such that it is no longer visible or searchable on the site. Some pages for adult games will be permanently removed from itch.io, and its owners say, this is what itch.io says. The situation developed rapidly, and we had to act urgently to protect the platform's core payment infrastructure. Unfortunately, this meant it was not realistic to provide creators with the advance notice before making this change. We know this is not ideal, and we apologize for the abruptness of this change. Itch.io's moves are close the quote, whatever. Itch.io's moves arise after major PC platform Steam also started a crackdown against sex games and resulted in the delisting of hundreds of titles. A Valve representative tells Polygon that Steam enacted these changes due to payment processors, and the company complied because loss of payment methods would prevent customers from being able to purchase other titles and game content on Steam. Itch.io similarly stated in its announcement that while the decision to stop selling adult games feels sudden, it moved quickly to protect the platform's core payment infrastructure. Currently, Itch.io is undergoing a comprehensive audit to examine. Yeah, we don't read it. I want to get to this quote. Where is it? Not a quote. Let me see. Okay, so on social media, the adult games issue has become a caustic one as onlookers fear the potential long-term repercussions of allowing third parties to dictate what is and isn't acceptable on a platform. Outrage has also spilled over the knowledge that many of these games removals are happening due to a campaign levied by the conservative Australian group Collective Shock. So I originally thought this was like some left-wing Karen group. No, some left-wing feminist group, right? But they're saying conservative Australian group. Okay. Back in April, the Collective wrote an open letter to payment processors claiming that platforms like Steam profiting off of you remember that, or whatever the case may be. Collective Shout's main argument against the sale of games with adult themes is the existence of game titled No Mercy. Okay, so there you have it, right? And now, like, did they say conservative? I didn't even think of the possibility of them being a conservative group, except now I'm seeing ban adult content on X, which we know left-wing people don't want to do. They might call you a gooner, and they might say you're an incel, but they don't want to ban, because they're for that, right? They're for that. Oh, because these are these anti-video game, anti-adult content right-wing people like John Delabacco. So now we're on a whole different, guys, this might be Gamergate 3. And now we're up against something that is more powerful than anything we've ever faced. This is different. We're talking about payment processors. We're not talking about game journalists. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but this might be a situation, gamers, where games journalists might be on your side. Now, I am not for seeing a game like No Mercy. You know, I wouldn't tell you to put that back on. I don't know, but I believe in the idea that once you start regulating one, you start regulating them all. And then once you start regulating them all, you're going to want to regulate everything else. How far? We already know conservatives want to ban video games. We all know that. If they can take advantage of this with payment processors, who's to say they won't take it further? Yeah, nah. And this is why we, and I'm not 100% convinced that this is like a right-wing thing. I'm not sure, because I thought it was a left-wing thing, but then I thought about it after seeing this and reading that article. I was like, oh wait, is this coming from conservatives? And maybe maybe y'all will let me know in the comments. But this is why gamers are not left-wing, gamers are not right-wing, gamers are simply gamers. And we want both of you motherfuckers to keep your political and your ideological bullshit away from video games. You want to do this with movies? Do your thing. You want to ban sex scenes from movies? Do your thing. But video games, stay the hell away from us. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. As always, may the grip be with you. I'll talk to y'all.
Oh, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.